ago, they didn't have the bag mud like this. They just had the buckets and they had the premixed stuff that you had to add chalk to in order to get it to thicken up like this. Or you had to have water to it, or you had to dry it out a little bit. But now you can mix it to what you need it for. People don't always say this, but this drywall mud doesn't need to be the same consistency for everything. Thicker for like patches and stuff like that. Things that you need kind of adhesion on, but sometimes you just fill in the holes. Sometimes you are skimming a whole wall. And when you're skimming something, you want it relatively thin. Now that is going to be much messier. It's going to be dropping and dripping on everything. But that's what tarps and sandpaper are for. Clean all that out. But you want that good, smooth, thin mud for skimming. Now if you put the tape on, this is all wrong. You don't want this. You want it thicker than that. But here, skimming. Got a lot of bad places here in the drywall. And so I want to take care of all that. We might get into some of this hawk action. Yo, 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 peace, peace, peace for everybody. What's good, what's good? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. We're gonna heat this up. We're gonna get that trowel cleaned up. So this stuff dries pretty hard, pretty fine. Good. Good for the wall. It's tough on the sanding process. What's going on, Betty? What does that mean? Bad meaning bad or bad meaning good? My DMC said, sometimes you gotta put your blade on the blade, you know? That's will cut you. What's wild is out of these, I like the cheap ones because of the colors. Bend. You need that bend on the drywall. Now this is technically considered a concrete cement tool amongst those guys. But if you know, you know. Alright, so we'll start on this wall here. Now, initially I'm gonna throw some mud on this thing. Clean up the bad stuff. Let's see. In that corner. Decide to what, you just commit to it. Just get it out. Get it out. Knock off the hills. Always knock off the hills, y'all. stays, let it stay. If it goes, let it go. This is a prime example of that right here. If something's flaking off, you don't want it on there because it's just going to continue to flake off. And it'll pull off whatever you've got on top of it with it. So, get it off of there altogether so you don't have an issue. Now, again, we just talked about what's good in terms of texture, right? Thickness of this mud. Now, the good thing about this mud also, as it dries, it gets thicker. You can do different things with it. So, though I am skimming, I'm gonna have some heavy spots over here. And when my mud gets thicker, like right there, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna put some more on that because that's just gonna shrink down. I'm gonna overload it a little bit so when I come back, it's still good. All right, I'm gonna try it back on. And then we'll move on to this wall. Paint's coming off here. Patch and never got primed properly. So it's ugly. So I can't tell this, but in some of these passes, I'm pulling off mud. Some of them I'm actually applying. I'll try to show you the difference. Very subtle. I'm pulling off mud and applying mud. Applying mud. Pulling off mud. Right. Ultimately, that's what I'm getting. And I'm going to clean all this dirt right off that trowel. Dispose of that. Get me some fresh mud on here. Hit this little spot low. Y'all can't see it, but I'll be right up in a second. That's how fast. Corner here with some tissues. And clean that. And the little wall back here. I don't know if the sunlight's gonna let you see all this, but I'll try to get it fast. Try to get it fast for you. Now, if you are a professional drywaller, you're probably saying, you got the cheapest mud knives on the planet, and I do. But I'm showing you how it's easy, even with the low-end tools. Alright? Now, there may be somebody in here who says, that's not how you do it. Where's my scraper and 5-in-1? First, Darrell Jones. I've been a contractor for like 30 years. I definitely know what to do. This is my house. I definitely know what to do. I've been building homes for 30 years. I definitely know what to do. And my resorts are immaculate. Your problem is, you only understood one way, you only learned one way, and you only understand one thing. And somebody was probably overly aggressive with teaching you that thing, and because of it, now you think everything else is evil and bad because you affixed so much hurt to the way that you were taught. And that happens a lot of times in contractors, so I'm not upset at you. I just wish you growth, brother, because my work is incredibly good. All right, back to it. Therapy with Uncle Wes. So here I am. Putting more mud on here because I want smooth everywhere. There are pinholes that y'all may not be able to see. And again, this is a milking coat. This is going to cover all of those, get my wall nice and flat. There's also been several layers of paint on this wall. This is going to help cover those runs and get my wall nice and flat. Alright, so now I'm going to go up there around the window, hit a little bit of that, but I'm going to check and see if that stuff is hard enough to stay. Or if those cracks are superficial. Right now they seem superficial. So we're just going to clean it up and make it nice and neat with what we got. We're not going to bother tearing anything off. But I am going to have to get on my step stool. Alright. So now I'm just going to pull around like that corner bead I was telling you about that we saw over there on the other wall. Same stuff's happening around here. That metal corner bead is great and it's durable, but sometimes in the wrong conditions it flex and come away from the wall and not necessarily pose any sort of structural problem. It's just that you can see the little aesthetic bump, and that's not what we want. So we're just going to build that around it and feather that down. Because again, when you see a smooth flat wall, you don't notice it. Subconsciously though, when you see a jagged, ragged wall, you do notice it. And subconsciously anyway, and that makes you feel like the house isn't out here. Makes you feel like the house isn't good. So we don't want that. Our house, we want to make money with, right? So we do a couple of these little spots in the ceiling from yesterday, because you know I can't let it go. Gotta make it feel like we got all the love. And that's what you need to do. Figure out how to love what you're doing. You can do it better. If you like old Wile E. Coyote there in the chat talking trash, it's probably because he don't love what he does. He's like, somebody goes, "That's wrong, you stupid idiot." And he's like, "I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make you happy, Dad." And now, he's got issues. He needs to come on YouTube and hate on good citizens for no reason. But I'm here to rescue you, y'all. I'm here to rescue you from guys like Daryl Whack-Ass Jones. Smoothing these walls out, making them nice and smooth. Because once we do come back, we get our mud everywhere we want it. And sand, we will have perfect work. If there was a way to skin this ceiling, how they did it was wrong. So wrong. And how you know it was wrong? Because the results were bad. That's how you know it's wrong. Not because your dad hurt your feelings about it. You can always weigh your results. So now look, that mud is thick again, right? So now I'm gonna come over here and hit these heavy spots that really need the thick mud. Like the aforementioned corner. So now, we get to really pack some mud on these problem areas, right? Really pull it out. Some people get really bashful about this stuff. You can go over it a bunch of times, and the more you go over it, the better. But it's very intimidating sometimes, moving along people. I tell you, the biggest secret is these two fingers on the back. These two fingers on the back control everything. Now, what's happening is I'm getting some blistering around here from the old stuff. This will shrink and this will let that go back down, and then we'll see how it behaves. If it's bad, we'll cut it out. If it's not, then we'll put another skim over it. It'll be dry then, it'll be fine then, and then we'll be good to go. But we'll have to wait and see. Packing it down on this corner. Really heavy. Because, again, I am kind of skimming in the process, right? Which means before this mud is completely dry right here, I'm not going to sand it, I'm going to skim it again. And each time I do it, reactivates what's underneath. Each time that happens, everything gets a little bit flatter because it's filling in holes. All we're doing right here is filling in cavities and crevices. That's all that's happening. The drywall is already relatively smooth and flat. It's not smooth. So I'm trying to make up for that. As far as the ceiling goes, yeah, we gotta get right back to that. Walls over here are crazy. I think I'm just gonna dump the rest of this mud on those walls over there and see if I can get that to the point where some of that looks reasonable. But this is all gonna get tiled later, so I really wasn't gonna concern myself with it, but I just can't look at it. It's ugly. And I've got tools in my hand that can make it not ugly. So we'll go ahead and head over this ugly shower booth anyway. But we do know that within a couple of months that shower booth is coming out. But till then, the kids don't have to look at nothing suspect. You know what I mean? See, if you can't sing at work, you don't like what you do. You just don't. And if you ain't singing at home, you don't like where you live. You just don't. I happen to like both. And I happen to be doing both simultaneously. This is why I don't like that fiber thread. Look at that. Stupid lines and thread in the middle of your drywall. It's outrageous. It's outrageous. It's really interesting that we can hide things from the human eye with organic movement, right? Sweepy things are less visible and apparent than flat, perfect clean lines. But we do have the satisfaction, for some reason, with perfectly clean lines. As a species, I mean. So, drywall is kind of a blend of that. Trying to make something non-organic feel organic and non-disruptive. Let's see what we got on the other side. See if we can get some of this stuff taken care of. you can spend your life talking trash on the internet. Or you can spend your life being cool. That's actually a verse. Like this mud's almost at the point where you can sculpt it a little bit. And so, it's kind of what I'm doing with this corner. Like they over mudded it. And I'm not going to chop it all down. So what I'm going to do, build it out to its high point, taper it down to a low point. Just to hide the imperfection. Not to remove it, because it'll be removed when the whole wall comes. When I go to tile this thing, but like I said, in the meanwhile, why let it look janky? Why let it feel right? Hey, I'm up here. Look at me. This house was not a flip house per se, but it was an old house and patched up and repaired over the years, sometimes by professionals, sometimes not, so it looks like that. But goal really is to clean the whole thing up. The whole thing good. So clear this out. Get the last of this mud done. Cut it out before it sets up. You can get it out reasonably well. I'm like scraping putty. And you can almost literally drop this stuff anywhere and it's fine because it's just chalk. Doesn't hurt anything. Do want it out fast. We'll make another batch. So we have to see them. Oh, I got plenty of metal pans, but what I'm doing here, Mr. Al Harrison, is I'm using 20-minute mud, right? And I'm doing some skimming, and I'm doing some patching, and I'm doing some sealings at the same time. Fast setting in the sink. Get a bucket. Al Harrison, let me tell you, since you're over there having a little bitch fit, this is my house. I've got this stopped up. I'm also a plumber, so I know how to fix this pipe. I know how to release my P-trap. I know how to just press that stopper down so this doesn't happen. And it's my house. This sink is going, this vanity's going. I'm remodeling this whole thing. So you can relax and not over there having a little stress attack. Typing in all caps, mad at me because you're mad and sad. Face palm. All right, bud. Bye. Get out of here, bud. I can't believe it. I don't like that. Why y'all come on the internet, came to watch me, just so you can be mad at me? Face palm. What? Y'all only have one way to do a thing. Maybe that's what's wrong with me. Did your dad be mean to you when he taught you how to do drywall? Is that what happened to him? Little Harrison. He said, get your metal pan, boy. Get your metal pan. Or I'll beat you. Is that what happened? Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. So you don't have to go on the internet and express it. All right. Back to the lecture at hand. So, again, I'm not teaching a lesson here, Tony, on how you should do anything. I mean, I keep calling you Tony because Tony Harrison, you know, he's a shit talking boxer, and you, my friend, are a shit talking tackler. And if you want to engage, I'm good with it. Good with it. Y'all throw some likes up there for old Al Harrison. Help him out. Help him out. Throw some likes up for me. For Al. Al the Hater Harrison. So now we're back to mixing what? Semi-soap. I didn't make a lot of this because I am making it a little thicker to skim the season because it's a lot of dripping. A lot of dripping. So we'll go back up. See what we got there. And get involved. That dude typed in a hand gesture. That's funny. I hate when I just walk in because I'm not trying to ignore the chat. But then I come back and somebody's talking smack. Rising Hannah. Smack talk, huh? This is painful, bro. You get hurt watching videos. Show you some. Alright. I wonder what time clicked on. So now I'm just trying to basically pull the smoothest lines that I can in this thing so that I can get the smoothest finish, because I don't want to do a lot of sanding. I really, really don't. I'm going to have to do some inevitable. But a long time ago, an old guy told me you can do 20 minutes of milking. Save yourself an hour of sanding. Because we're cut down on so much of the knockdown by doing this process. And I agree. A nice smooth transition from these big patches that were made in these little patches in this smooth, pardon the term, unmolested drywall. color differential will tell you where your highs and lows are. And so, to some degree, that's what we're after. I'm not gone, I'm not gone. Not All right. I think that will be it for the drywall mud itself in this bathroom. Like I've kind of overdone most of it intentionally. So what I'm gonna do, come back with light sand, a knock down, and I'll be ready for prime and paint. I didn't even expect to have to paint this whole bathroom, but if you're gonna do it right. Get it done. Peace. Thanks for hanging out with me. You're welcome.